YouTubers, this is the fourth video where we start talking about the fourth rule in the software engineering manifesto, which is code perfection. Perfection in and of itself is a little bit of higher goal to try to attain. There is no such a thing as perfect anything, really. That's the reality of things. But perfection is also something that drives us to continue to improve what we're working on, to improve what we're building, what we're engineering, to try to make things as simple and as easy and as readable and configurable as much as we can. So when you're writing your code, it's very important really that when you look at your code, think about this when you're writing your code. This is going to be, tell yourself that this is going to be the last time I touch this code. So I better write it in a way that represents me as an engineer. Your code is really how people get to know you in a software development team. When they look at their code, this is how they know how good or bad you are at your job. I mean, you could be the nicest person in the world, you could be the funniest person in the world, you could be the most generous person in the world, but if your code is not good, that builds up a reputation about you around your team and around the software development organization that you're working with, which eventually will result in people not giving you critical tasks and not trusting you to build production ready software. So even if you're building a POC, a proof of concept, make sure that following best practices and naming your code in a way that's representable and easy to understand is a second nature for you, because in a lot of time when you're writing a proof of concept, this project, you might not get the chance to go back and change it, and then people will take that POC and build on top of it and push it to production, because to a lot of people, they don't understand the difference between POC and production ready code. POC is meant to go and try something and then blow it all off and start from scratch, and I've seen a lot of engineers that actually take a POC code and just continue to work on top of it, but when you go back, it's really hard to maintain. It doesn't follow any standards, it doesn't follow any patterns. So when you write your code, make sure you follow some standards, you follow some best practices, make it a second nature for you. Don't cut corners. People will see your code and get to know you through your code. So make sure this is how you really are. If you are a good engineer, then don't write bad code. If you're a new engineer and you're really good at the industry, look at other people, how they write their code, and follow programming best practices and write best code. And one more important thing: just because a project that you inherited or a team that you're working with do not follow good standards, that doesn't mean that you should do the same thing. Don't be a dead fish. Only the dead fish go with the flow. Do not go with the flow if the flow is going in the wrong direction. Instead, be the changing point that says, all right, these are bad practices. Let's introduce better practices for the team. Let's build production ready, readable, configurable software. That's it for this manifesto rule. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.